Welcome, dear listener. I'm so glad you've decided to join me tonight. Find yourself a comfortable position. Perhaps you're already nestled into a soft bed or curled up in your favorite chair. Take a deep breath in and let it out slowly. Let your eyes grow heavy and allow your mind to settle like dust gently floating down through a shaft of golden light. We're about to take a calm and quiet journey through time. Tonight, we're drifting into the forgotten corners of history to explore something you might use every day, but have likely never thought much about. Eyewear. Not the modern lenses you may be used to, perched lightly on your nose to help you see the world. No. Tonight, we're going further back. Before optometry, before prescriptions, before even glass lenses. We're going to explore the long, winding story of how humans shielded their eyes from light, wind, dust, and sometimes even spirits, long before there was anything called a lens. Let's begin. Thousands of years ago. Imagine, if you will, a vast expanse of snow and silence. The Arctic tundra, silent except for the crunch of fur-lined boots pressing softly into the snow. This is where our story begins, with the Inuit. The Inuit people of the far north fashioned something quite remarkable: snow goggles. Not made from glass or plastic, but carved from driftwood, caribou bone, or even walrus ivory. These were narrow slits, just enough to see through, cut into a piece of curved bone that sat snugly against the face. Why? To reduce the glare of the sun reflecting off the endless white snow. Snow blindness, as it's called, could make a person helpless in the wild. But with these narrow eye slits, the Inuit created a kind of vision protection long before the rest of the world even thought to try. They were beautifully practical, sometimes decorated with simple etchings and tied gently around the head with sinew cord. With every step through the snow, these early eye covers gave comfort and clarity, a quiet triumph of design in a land ruled by cold and light. Now, let's move forward, slowly, through the sands of time. Across the globe, in the warmth of ancient Egypt, sunlight was also a force to be reckoned with. The desert sun blazed overhead, and here too, humans found clever ways to protect their eyes. It is believed that dark coal, yes, the very cosmetic used to line the eyes, served more than an aesthetic purpose. Worn by men and women alike, this thick black pigment helped reduce glare and shield the delicate skin around the eyes from the harsh desert light. As we continue drifting along the current of time, we arrive in ancient Rome. Romans, ever practical, crafted handheld sheets of polished emeralds or smoky quartz. These were not so much used to improve vision, but to shield the eyes from the sun during theatrical performances and gladiatorial games. Imagine a senator reclining in the Colosseum, holding up a thin sheet of green stone, the world tinted and dulled, the roar of the crowd softened by the filter of color. It wasn't magnification, no, but it was still a form of eyewear, an early attempt to give the eyes a little comfort in a world filled with brightness and dust. Will out. Thank you to Happy in Experience, and it's easy to talk 8. Now, let's gently step into the twilights of the Middle Ages. In medieval Europe, seeing clearly was often a matter of mystery and reverence. Monks spent their lives copying manuscripts in dimly lit stone chambers. Candles flickered, shadows danced across parchment. And yet, some would employ what we might call reading stones, polished domes of crystal or glass laid flat over a page. These weren't lenses you could wear, not yet, but they helped magnify letters for tired eyes. Picture an old monk hunched over a scroll, slowly moving a reading stone line by line. The soft rasp of quill on parchment, the gentle murmur of prayer, and the clear, circular light of the reading stone, illuminating just a few words at a time. A quiet, sacred kind of vision. Different. The media seeing two of U.S. As we drift toward the late 13th century, we begin to see the earliest true spectacles appear. In Italy, perhaps in the city of Pisa or Venice, artisans began crafting two small glass discs mounted in frames of wood, bone, or metal. These early spectacles didn't have arms to hook over the ears. Instead, they perched delicately on the bridge of the nose, or were held up by hand. No one is quite sure who invented them first, but there's something lovely about that mystery. These primitive spectacles were passed among monks, scholars, and nobles, treasured objects, sometimes adorned with decorative flourishes. They were rare, expensive, and often shared. The word eyeglasses hadn't even been invented yet, but the idea to bring the world into sharper focus had finally taken shape. Thank you to Happy in Experience. Let's take a moment here to rest in that scene. A quiet monastery, a scholar lifting his wire-rimmed spectacles gently onto his nose, the way the candlelight flickers across the lenses, the slow breath of a turning page, the silence, profound and peaceful. Time moved slowly back then, and the need to see clearly.
Now we float forward to the Renaissance. The art of crafting spectacles spreads across Europe, to Germany, to France, to the Netherlands. With time came variety. There were rivet spectacles, designed like scissors, with arms that folded together, and pince-nez, which literally means pinch nose, held in place without the need for earpieces. Glasses became associated with wisdom. In portraits of the time, a person wearing spectacles often signified intelligence or spiritual depth. But remember, these were still without prescription, without modern lenses. They were often made in only one or two strengths, enough to help a tired reader, but not tailored like today. Still, they helped. And so, the humble pair of spectacles earned its place in history. By the 1700s, frames became more refined. Leather, steel, and even tortoiseshell were used. And in time, temples were added, the arms of glasses that finally allowed them to rest securely over one's ears. It may seem simple to us now, but imagine the first person to wear them that way, and not have to hold them with one hand. Imagine the freedom, the gentle joy of reading, of observing the world with both hands free. It's a quiet kind of revolution. And so we drift slowly to the end of our journey. Long before optometrists and bifocals, before fashion frames and digital lenses, there were people just like us, trying to see the world a little more clearly, with carved bone, with green crystal, with polished stones, and with wonder. So tonight, as you settle into sleep, maybe you'll dream of ancient snow goggles, of quiet libraries filled with candlelight, of monks and scholars, of gentle, curious minds, staring into the blurry world and trying to make it sharp. And maybe, just maybe, you'll open your eyes tomorrow with a little more appreciation for the simple miracle of sight. Good night, traveler. Sleep well.